Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm sorry, my visuals may not be as fantastic as usual because I'm using a makeshift space, but I think we can.
It's fine.
Manage.
We'll make do with what we have as long as we can hear your voice. But I was going to ask you because we've seen the reaction from your party, but this basically has to do with you and your 26 other colleagues. What's your reaction to this order by the court?
First, I need to correct an impression. You guys keep making the same mistake. We need to begin to understand the difference between an interim order and a court judgment. An interim order is not substantive. So somebody goes to court and prays the court to do this, do this, do this. Tell me, make me a woman. I don't want to be a man anymore. Or make my friend a woman. And the court says, look, we need to hear both sides first before we take a decision. But for now, I will honor 1, 2, 3 of what you've asked for. That doesn't make you a man, or that doesn't make you a woman. So anybody saying anybody has been, because you guys, sometimes the way you guys report stuff, I don't understand. No court affirmed anyone as speaker. A court only granted an interim order, which elapses, which has an expiry date, usually days. And so there's no issue at all. But on the issue, before I delve into the court judgment and then what I call a mess that a lot of people will say that our judiciary has been turned into, but I don't toe that line. It's not the judiciary. It's a few people that have made themselves malevolent instruments for the destruction of the intendments and prophecies of the Constitution. And you cannot blame the entire judiciary for that. If some elements decide to, I choose my words very carefully.
What the court is saying basically is maintain the status quo, which means that Edison Ehie remains speaker for the next 9 days, which is when the next hearing will be. Are you and your group going to comply with this order and suspend all activities pending the next hearing?
Yeah. Now listen, what is the end game? Before I go into the issue, what is the end game? The end game is that the governor of Rivers State wants to present his budget to 4 suspended members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. That's the end game, and let's even begin from there. And now he's been enabled by this very, very embarrassing court order. What are the issues? There was an ex parte order that expired on the 30th of October. The same parties went to another court of corresponding jurisdiction, of coordinate jurisdiction, 2 equal courts. The same parties, the same material facts, the same prayers were denied by that court. And then eventually, both parties met in court and argued the matter. They argued the matter and then the court adjourned. That means the substantive matter has been heard. Having had the order expiring, now you've heard the substantive matter. The matter has been adjourned, so the matter is on. Now you jump to another court of coordinate jurisdiction, the same parties, the same prayers, the same material facts, and a judge that usually I used to respect, learned, well-read. So if it was a quiet judge, I would say, okay, maybe that one doesn't know the law. A very respected judge of the courts, a Nigerian judge, a Rivers judge who knows the situation at hand, who has been watching the news, who knows that 27 members on the House of Assembly are on one side and 4 members are on the other side. Who knows that just yesterday, 27 members defected from the People's Democratic Party to the APC, and then we have just 4 members left. Entertained their request, granted an order. Look, I'm not a lawyer, but I know that before a judge gives a judgment, there's something called, I think, the subjective rule or so, which says that the judge considers...
I just want to abort him because you haven't answered the question I asked earlier. If you are going to comply with this particular ruling and suspend all legislative business for the next 9 days.
It's not a ruling. It's not a ruling. It's an interim order. We are law-abiding people. Every time I speak to you, I tell you that whatever we do in the 10th Assembly, we work within the confines of the dictates and prescriptions and the prophecies of the Constitution of the Federal Government of Nigeria as altered. And so if a judge has said so, the court has spoken, no matter how right or no matter how wrong. The court has spoken, the court has spoken. We're not rascals. We will listen. Our lawyers are working to vacate that order. It's not an issue. We are exploring our options. Section 153, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution, as altered, has given us the option that we would have needed. The section that sets up the NJC and gives the the power to appoint and exercise disciplinary control over judicial officers. We have that option. We are adopting our petition within the next 24, 48 hours. We're going to petition that judge that is.
And what are your requests, Mr. George, in your petition?
You like breaking news a lot, so wait for this breaking news. That judge must be penalized as prescribed by the Constitution in Section 153, subsection 1, that establishes the National Judicial Council. We will do our part. We're not quarreling with anybody. In fact, I'm excited because I want to see that glorious day that the governor will present his budget to a 4-member suspended assembly members that all of Nigerians should know today that are 4. There was this argument before. Is it not? Today we know that they are just 4. I want to see that day. In fact, my Mr. Speaker, Matt Amewule called me this evening, and he was laughing and laughing. I said, you are laughing at a very important issue. He said that what options does he have? He has never seen this kind of thing in his life. And before I knew it, I started laughing too. So it is an insult on the collective sensibilities of Nigerians. An insult on the judiciary. People should stop blaming judiciary for everything. No, there are corrupt elements in the judiciary that are giving them the bad name. And it is time that we begin to question the character of such people. They must begin to face the justice. We don't have issues. We're okay. A few days, about nine days or so, and all of this will be put aside. The end game, I say again, the end game is that the governor wants to present.
All right. So basically, from what I can glean from what you are saying, Mr. George, is that one of the things you're requesting for is for the judge to be penalized.